So, there's this big hashtag that everyone's following on all of the popular social media platforms.
I swear to God, if this is going to be van life...
No, not van life, Stiva life.
Oh, you mean these sexy Italian leather boots?
No, not that well, actually it also is the sexy Italian leather boots, but we're here to talk about Stiva life as it relates to one of the finest Ford/Mazda/Kias ever produced, the Ford Festiva.
Alright, well, let's dig into that for a second here already. So, here's the deal. Ford, back in the 80s, asked Mazda, who was then, Ford was their parent company, to design a micro car for the US, essentially, and Mazda said sure. Kia then license-built the same car in Korea as the Pride. That is the one that got shipped back to America to Ford to sell as the Ford Festiva.
Yeah, and this whole convoluted process makes a lot of sense if you think about it. At the time, Ford USA was really occupied with developing some of the most technologically advanced, desirable to buyers cars on the planet.
Now, on paper, this was an utterly unremarkable car with an unremarkable engine. It's a 1.3 liter. It is a Mazda B series motor at heart, though, and I just gotta say, back when these cars were new, I was actually writing about cars, and I did a popular mechanics comparison test, like a Geo Metro and a Ford Festiva and a couple other things like that. And let me tell you, the Festiva ruled. That was a fabulous car. Admittedly granted, next to a Geo Metro.
That first generation of Festiva ran through model year 1992 when it was replaced by the second generation car, which was renamed the Aspire. Look, the Aspire is not living that Stiva life.
Now, the Festiva actually makes a pretty good Lemons car. I mean, it is the entriest of entry-level cars, and it was filtered through Kia and Ford. But you know what? It's still a Mazda, and it still does the things that Mazdas do well. It's reliable, and it handles really well. It's lightweight. It's a pretty good car.
Yeah, and going back to that Mazda B engine family, that's the same engine that's in the first-gen Miata, among other things. Festiva had the 1.3 liter, Miata's got a 1.6, which also had twin cam heads, 4 valves per cylinder, almost double the power of the Festiva.
I think you can see where this is heading. Clearly, if you want to dominate a Lemons race, all you got to do is get a Festiva and swap in the B Series 1.6 Miata engine.
Yep, that's exactly what this team in Texas, Breaking Bad Racing, figured, except they didn't stop at the Miata version of the B engine. They went all the way to the B6T, which is from the Mercury Capri XR2. Don't forget the XR2. That had a turbo and a massive 132 horsepower.
That is a lot for a car the size of a hover around, and weirdly, despite having all that power in such a tiny car, this thing has been quite long-lived and quite successful. It's been racing for like a decade, and it has been really always right at the top in Gulf region races.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, at the last race at MSR Houston, Breaking Bad entered 8 cars, including 2 V8 swap BMWs, 2 Miatas, 2 Mustangs, and a Toyota. You'll never guess which car had the best finish, 13th overall in a field of 110 out of all of that group.
Here's a hint, Stiva life.
Every second you don't subscribe or watch one of these videos, another Vega is sent to the crusher. Won't you help us save Classic?